Ronnie Kaye began his career in the small, sleepy town of Cooter, Missouri. It became obvious to the people at school, at church, and with his family that show business was his future. And when 15-year-old Ronnie and his older brother ordered a radio transmitter from a Popular Mechanics catalog, he was smitten with the broadcast bug for life. When Ronnie decided to attend Memphis State University in 1956, another young boy just 4 blocks from the campus was also beginning his career. His name was Elvis Presley. After college, Ronnie worked at KLCN in BLYTHVILLE, Arkansas, then at KSWO in LAWTON, where after 6 months of honing his skills, felt he was ready to move to the big time. Ronnie was not prepared for what was to come: DJ basketball, riding donkeys, and racing in construction derbies. By 1966, Ronnie had already garnered some of Hooper Rating's highest numbers. But Ronnie was ready for something bigger.
The Scene, a montage of America's top music makers.
Today, we go back and rewind your mind to the year 1968 with the Grassroots as one of our special guests. Also, Fads and Fashion with Deanna, and this great song is an opener today. This is Blue Swede and a song called Never My Love.
You ask me if there'll come a time when I grow tired of you.
The Scene was the only local dance show that had survived more than 1 rating book, and before ending 8 years later had featured rock and roll heavyweights like Ray Charles, Neil Diamond, and dozens of other major music stars. It was the first local show years before MTV to present music videos.
The Grassroots helped make musical history in the great year of 1968, and this was one of the songs that they recorded that year. It's called Midnight Confession.
The show sent dance contestants to American Bandstand for 4 consecutive years, winning 3rd place once, 2nd place twice, and 1st place once. The Scene was featured in teen magazines and was syndicated in 15 markets across the United States, including LA and San Francisco. During the 80s, Ronnie's career moved exclusively to television, working for KOKH as News and Public Affairs Director. He produced and hosted talk shows, governor's debates, and telethons. He won Addies for his public service campaigns about the family, child abuse, and a series saluting Oklahoma towns entitled, We're Sure Proud of You. By the early 90s, the same music that Ronnie played in the 60s came calling again. This time, a radio station that had always been the competition became the platform for Koma's Mr. Rock and Roll.
Here's a song, ladies and gentlemen, for the Hermits. I'm into something real good.
Midday ratings soared to an all-time high, prompting America's leading oldies consultant to write the following.
Dear Ronnie, congratulations on being rated the #1 oldies air talent in the top 75 metro markets, according to the Fall Arbitron. You've always given 110% effort, and you know how to smoke, cook, and burn. We're very proud of you, and proud to say we've had a long and successful working relationship together. Keep up the great work, and we say when referring to you, #1 then and #1 now. All the best. Ted McAllister, Vice President, E. Alvin Davis Associates, Cincinnati, Ohio.
As an officially authorized holder of a broadcast license here, ladies and gentlemen, I, Ronnie Kaye, have an FCC third-class operator's license, and I am authorized by that license to do 3 things. #1, take meter readings. #2, sign on and off the log. And #3, once in a while, play a Peter, Paul, and Mary record.
It was time for a reunion, and with the encouragement of KOMA, Ronnie found and brought back together 15 of Oklahoma's top bands from the 60s and presented the Rock and Roll Reunion.
Moby Dick and the Wailers!
I don't want much.
The reunion, along with songs and poems written by Ronnie about the Oklahoma City bombing, raised over $35,000 for the victims and their families. In the early 60s, when Ronnie refused to crawl into a costume called Bazark on the Foreman Scotty Kids show, Danny Williams said, "Ronnie, if you don't get into this costume, all you're ever gonna be is a disc jockey. To which Ronnie replied, a disc jockey is all I ever wanna be.
I want to be an announcer.